Hello, Succeeders. This is Stacy Barlow Hill coming to you today with my Tuesday message. I missed you guys. I've been gone for a couple weeks in light of everything that's been going on in the world. Took a little bit of time off just to kind of reflect and to be a part of that. And today's message is really kind of stemming from that as I've kind of sat back and observed and watched people's reactions and the way that they've shown up during this crisis. And I made a post the other week that everybody's purpose in all of this is not to necessarily be out in the streets protesting. Um, I applaud that. I mean that's admirable for those that are effective out there protesting and being the voice and the faces, that we watch on the news and those that are advocating for change. But some of us are most effective in other ways. We can be behind the scenes talking to policymakers and change makers. There's funds that need to be donated. There's volunteer work behind the scenes. There's education. There's leadership. There's your voice may need to be heard. Maybe you have the power of the pen and writing articles is what you can do to voice your concerns and to help generate change. But also just listening and connecting and learning someone else's point of view can also be a major change. And last evening, I had a team call with my Encore team, and I started talking about being able to see things from other people's perspectives and understanding their journey and what has led them to feel the way that they feel right now regarding certain circumstances, and not even right now with everything that's going on, but just life in general. So a leader's job is to bring people together and to help bring unity and oneness and wholeness to an organization or whatever it is that they're leading. So let's just take, for instance, I gave them this example last night of Drew Brees. Drew Brees, was a leader in the NFL, and he put out a video basically saying that he would never condone anyone that disrespected the flag, and that caused a lot of backlash. It caused a lot of reaction and hurt from a lot of people because they didn't have that same shared experience as him. And Drew Brees did go on to issue apologies, and it's not our job to decide whether he was sincere or not. But the whole purpose of this illustration is sometimes people are just not aware of how their statements and how their words affect someone because that's not part of their journey. Drew Brees didn't have the history that a lot of African Americans and brown people have in this country. So as he was talking about his grandfather fighting, for this country, that's his experience. He didn't have the same experience as someone with my background and my history. And as I was listening to him talk about his grandfather, I was thinking that my grandfather wasn't in that same situation. It was a lot different for him, but he gave his perspective based off of his journey and his upbringing and what things looked like in his world. When he probably heard the videos and the backlash of people not condoning it and really feeling the hurt and the pain that his words caused, I'm sure it caused a reaction in him. And perhaps it made him understand, oh, I get it now. And that's really what I'm trying to get at. That leaders, we are the ones that need to be able to pull that, oh, I get it now, out of people. We have to be the ones that sit down and make people have conversations. And it's okay, we're not always going to agree. Drew Brees may still agree and stand by what he said, but he may have a different perspective now. because someone brought it to his attention. A lot of people brought it to his attention, right? So sometimes we don't understand. We live in our worlds. We live in our circumstances. We have our journeys and our occurrences in life that have brought us to the place we are now. So we base our opinions and we base our facts, not the real facts, but our facts that we cling to. We base those off of our experiences and what we've done in life and who we've been in life and the things that have happened to us in life. So we have to think about those of others, the others' experiences. And a lot of times it just boils down to ignorance. A lot of times people, they don't know the right things to say. They don't understand how their words affect other people. They don't know your experience, so they can't relate. And it's really frustrating as someone, if you've been through a really, tough life and tough circumstances and have been dealt all these cards, and it's so clear, and right in front of you. It's frustrating that the person next to you doesn't get that. But it's up to you to help them. It's up to you to educate them, enlighten them. So, don't go around deleting everybody on your social media feeds because they don't agree with you. Sit and have a conversation. Ask them, why do you feel this way? You know, well, let me tell you why I feel this way, without being disrespectful and without being, fueled and angry. There are some situations that warrant a higher level of emotion. But a lot of these things where we just dismiss people and cast them to the side because they don't agree with us. And how could you not, agree with me? They don't know. A lot of times they simply don't know. So take the time, especially, and I'm talking to leaders today. These are people that lead other people, that are responsible for the growth of others, and that are responsible for building organizations and growing people and leading people. I want you to remember that as you are leading your team, even through this time, but also just in general. Your team and the people that you lead are not always going to agree. It's guaranteed that you're not always going to agree. But your job and your role as having influence over this organization and this team is that it's your job to grow people. It's your job to help bring them together. You may not have the answers, you may not know the answers, but it's your job to get everyone together, to hear them, to listen to them, and to let them express how they feel without fear of judgment of how someone's going to react. You have to create that atmosphere where people feel welcome, where they feel encouraged, to voice that, because that's where real change comes from, in my opinion. Real change starts from within. We can do all of the protesting and everything, and that's amazing. We need that forces change, that causes people to wake up. But some of us as leaders, this is where change starts. It really can start within, helping someone see things from a different point of view, helping others to appreciate the differences of other people, helping others to just have that aha moment. Oh, I haven't been through what you've been through, but I understand. I understand how you can feel like that. So I support you and I understand that. It still doesn't mean we have to agree on everything, but it means that we see each other. And that's really what it starts with. It starts with seeing each other. So I challenge you today to see each other. Don't delete everyone that doesn't agree with you. Don't cast out people. It's a sensitive time. There's a lot of emotions involved in this, and your words have real power, and they can hurt, and they can destroy, they can tear down, but they can also build up, and they can also uplift, and they can also change things. They can change the atmosphere. So my challenge to you today is to connect, to listen, to really reach out to someone across the aisle and help them, help educate them. If you're the other person on the opposite side of the aisle, then I encourage you, to listen and really try to understand where someone else is coming from. So as leaders, we have work to do. We have to be the ones to unite, to build up, to educate, and to create hope in this world. So that's my challenge for you today. I will see you all next time.